Do you want to make a fall card that is super fun to do, combining lots of techniques? Then follow along. Now this season is all about pumpkins and I cannot stay away from them. Today I'm using this texture plate which is going to give you a lovely pumpkin design. Now it stays all together, as you can see. The pumpkins don't separate, so you can use it as it is for your background, but it is super easy to snip them out if you want with your scissors, so you can use them as elements for embellishing on your projects. So for today I'm going to keep them as they are. And my goal is to create a gorgeous background for my card, which I don't plan to cover up, but just add a very small sentiment. So I'm going to do really quick inking with my jumbo brushes, blending brushes, and these are new by Waffle Flower. So I started with Crackling Campfire Oxide ink to apply color all over my pumpkins, and then with a shading brush, I'm just adding a little bit of a darker shade, and that's Barn Door, only on the edges. Don't overdo it, just a little bit here and there. It's going to make the trick, and it's going to give a look of not flat pumpkins, but actually dimensional once you lift the stencil. Now, just because I'm using Distress Oxide inks, keep in mind that I will have a more muted look at the end, more of a chalky finish. You can recreate the exact same card with the same color combinations, but if you use dye inks in similar colors or even the main Distress line of inks, it is going to look even more brighter. Now, another variation that you can do with the Distress Oxides using the exact same colors is if you work on a dark cardstock. So you can start on a like dark chocolate cardstock. Oxides work beautifully on top of dark colors, and it's going to give a more warm look and feel, since you will not end up with that white background all around. It really depends on what you want to do, and these stencils really give you the opportunity to play again and again and have multiple variations of the same card. So for this layer of stencils, I used mustard seed, and then to darken up the edges I'm using spiced marmalade, again using the same blending brushes, the same technique. Let's lift the stencil and see the beautiful design underneath. Absolutely love it. Now this is the last one, the last stencil from the set, which is going to give you the centers, the pumpkin stems, as well as the leaves. So for this layer I'm using smaller blending brushes so that I can focus on the different areas. I used ground espresso for the stems, and I'm going with shades for the leaves, but I am going to bring in a little bit of a shading for the leaves just to give them more dimension. Now, just like always, you will find everything I use down below in the description. Keep in mind that today I'm playing with supplies from the October release by Waffle Flower, and just like always, I have a coupon code for you, so you can get the new release as well as everything in their website with 10% off if you haven't used that coupon code before. Now, you can stop here definitely. You don't have to do anything else on this background. If you are like me, however, and you are into mixed media, you just cannot leave anything alone. I just want to add splatters. I get many questions about splattering and why I love it so much. Well, the answer is because I do. I don't know. I just love them. I feel like they fill that empty space at the background, like they give that little detail on the background and on top of my focal points, which are the pumpkins in this case, so everything looks more coherent. But again, just follow your own style. You can get inspired by what I do, but you can make it your own. So now for the background, you can go with a darker shade of background, like a dark chocolate where you can see what is going on behind, like a shadow, or even a black. I decided to go with dark brown because it matches the stems of my pumpkins. And now at the back, I'm going to add foam squares, small ones, and I went with the black ones so that you cannot actually see them. And I'm going to put them strategically at the back of some of the pumpkins or some of the leaves. So when I stick that panel on top of my brown one, these are going to pop. Again, keep in mind, you can use your scissors and just separate everything and create something completely different. Just use those as elements and pop them on your projects. So here I'm just sticking that panel that I created on top of my darker panel, and I used glue on all the rest of the areas. So you see some of the pumpkins are popping up as well as some of the leaves. So it gives you instant dimension, and I absolutely love how easy it is to color it as well. Now again, you can stop here if you want that clean and simple look, or if you're like me and you don't know when to stop, you can just go ahead and do a little bit of ink blending. So here I'm using my jumbo brush and Distress Oxide Vintage Photo. I'm adding a little bit on the edges, and you see I add a heavy color on the far edge, but very lightly with what is left on my brush. I'm going to touch a little bit the center. Really quickly, I just don't want to have that bright white at the center. And it kind of created that vignette look with the darker sides and the light at the center. And let's do some stamping and heat embossing for the sentiment. This comes from the Grateful Heart Sentiments. It's a new set by Waffle Flower with loads of sentiments that are perfect for the season. And I went and did the heat embossing on top of a brown cardstock, which is the same color as the one that I have behind the pumpkins. And I used a powder which is going to give you that metallic shine, gorgeous. So I do have the matching dies, and I'm going to cut out the sentiment so that I can stick it at the center of my card. You can finish it off by adding some gems or pearls. Here I'm using old gold contour liner to add some dots. They always give that whimsical look and feel. And here are some close-up photos on the card that I made for today. I hope that you had fun, that you got inspired. Just like always, down below in the description, you can find links to everything I used. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.